In this video, I'd like to discuss psychoactive substances. And big disclaimer, I'm not promoting anything. I'm not condoning anything. I don't want you to try anything, no. But I have ample experience in my own life, and I've done mostly everything out there. At least the common things. I've done many analogs as well in the psychedelic range, because that has been my particular interest. Also dissociatives, I've done lots of analogs as well. But namely, psychedelics, dissociatives, which again sort of meld together, right? I've done alcohol once or twice. I absolutely cannot stand it. It just feels so toxic, so yucky. There's just this vibe to it, and also alcohol comes from the word ghoul. It's literally a zombifying drug. I don't know why anybody would do it. It doesn't feel good to my system, and I know many people who don't have experience outside of alcohol, caffeine, and nicotine perhaps, and so they think that's the best shot they have available. But yeah, there's definitely better things, so keep that in mind. But I'm particularly interested in a psychedelic dissociative family of substances for the particular reason that it allows you the mind expansion to access other realms, to explore in your own experience here and now the most adventurous, mind-boggling, just completely world-shattering degrees of experience that are accessible in this wide spectrum of experience that is here, and even beyond that. And I cannot begin to name the atrocities, the tortures, the absolute dread and gore that I've had to go through. And I've had my gut spill, I've had my mind tortured, I've had my energy sucked, I've had it all done, tried and tested. It's certainly a road that you need to be careful. And how to be careful is to be prepared for the worst. And really prepare yourself emotionally, energetically. The setting needs to be serene. Don't be around people that may trigger you. And just generally be in a good place in yourself. And despite ensuring and checking all those boxes, you can have the worst time of your life. Trust me, I've had a hardy life, a very difficult life, a very traumatic life, and nothing quite comes close to the magnitude and sheer capacity for especially psychedelics to rip your entire life apart to pieces and just leave you in a puddle of a crying mess. And it is not always a fun ride. If you're looking for a fun, happy, joyful ride, there are things for that. But be careful. And I'd also like to then talk to the more expansive sacred component, because it breaks down all the barriers and perimeters that we have set, the limitations in our minds that we have set in place and order. All of that out the window immediately. The first 1 to 2 hours, you're gone. But my boy, you're no longer in the confines of who you thought yourself to be your entire life. And that is discomforting. That is not a good time always. So be prepared for that. Be prepared that it's going to be a ride. And you're not behind the steering wheel, my friend. And beyond that, there is just mind-boggling, out of this world, ineffable degrees of experience and dimensionality accessible right here. Unbelievable. Completely out of this world. Unbelievable. And that can have very transformational impacts on the person. That will leave an imprint in your system for good. If I recall back to my past, when I really started diving into this sort of stuff, when I really went balls deep, people that knew me, they started to not know me month by month. They started to completely, they had to rediscover who I was every single time we met, so to speak. It just, if you can accelerate the personal transformation in your life somehow, that for me at least has been the fastest route possible. And it is difficult for people around you. People have a tendency to box you in to their defined view of who they think you are, just as we do to ourselves. Other people do that too. And if you start breaking their frame of who they think you are, they're going to be uncomfortable too. Trust me. And so it'll possibly create some tensions in your life. People may rub against you a little bit and really just have a hard time with you being so shifty, with you being so hard to pin down, because you're no longer limited by the bounds of your thoughts, of your beliefs in the same way. Not that you'll be freed, not that you'll be a saint. You won't be a holy person, a guru, nobody at all. You'll be a nobody still. It won't be the case that you take something and then, I used to believe this for so long, that yeah, if only I could click this in place for good, my entire life would be solved. After hundreds and hundreds of attempts, I have failed time and time again. So you may be different, I don't know. Little tiny bits and pieces may click in place here and there, but the whole grand scheme of things, no, unlikely. So don't expect too much. In fact, don't expect anything. Expectation is the way, absolute way, to ruin everything. You'll be made a mockery of if you come showing up to this realm, these beings, these entities, these dimensions with expectations of something to get. If you're trying to get something out of it, I really like the quote that intention causes tension, because if you intend on something to happen, you're already fixed, you're already locked in, and there's no need for you to take anything. Just go do the thing you need to do. Go change the thing that needs changing if that is what you seek. You don't need to explore, to be adventurous, to know what is out there in order to facilitate that change in you now. So if you break all boundaries and think that your fickle expectations and wants and desires can meet the boundlessness of this expanded moment, you're just a big fool as I am, or as I was. Yeah, it is foolish. You'll fail. Trust me. So, other than that, there are many other substances out there. I've done many stimulants, particularly. I've done lots of cannabis, also particularly initially on my journey. And I know there are ways to use these substances in an intelligent, embodied manner for the purpose that they might suit, but be careful. I've seen so many people go down that path of either weed, cannabis, the down low approach, or stimulants, speed, cocaine, all this sort of stuff, right? And just go the high route, thinking that that is going to boost their life in the right direction. I found that stimulants overshoot. Cannabis just dulls everything down. It just muddies the water. It is so... I know some people are functional on it. I've not seen anybody. From first-hand experience, I've not seen anybody be functional on it. I've not met anybody who actually did something with their life in this way. There might be cases or examples of this out in the world, sure, and I'm sure there are. But for the most part, this is not what I've found to be the case. So be careful with that, because it can really just dull you, numb you out, and leave you thinking that your life is okay as it is. And yeah, there's a certain contentment to that. There's a certain peace to be found in that, and there's a truth in that also. But if you need a substance to assure you that you're okay, you're not okay, my friend. You're not okay. If we go the stimulant route, trying to always amp up the energy and be super energetic, get stuff done, we have our beautiful adrenal glands in the body. And cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine, all these beautiful compounds that stress our system out, wear us out, are going to age you so incredibly freaking fast if you go down the route of abusing stimulants. I fried my nervous system on stimulants. I went psychotic, major psychotic for years, to doing stimulants on a daily basis. So be careful, because your nervous system, your system in general may not have the capacity, the nourishment, just the preparedness to handle that. And that is something you need to keep in mind with all substances. Your system may not be prepared for exogenous compounds. And why would you take the route of taking anything at all? What is so wrong? What do you desire so much? What are you looking for that you cannot find without? So really keep in mind when you're venturing down this road that, yeah, there's so much beauty, so much transformation, so much to be discovered and to experience in yourself, which, granted, to experience something for yourself is the only true way to really know. You cannot read about it. You cannot study it. You cannot hear tales from me or anybody else about it. You have to experience it for yourself if you so desire. I'm not telling you to. Please don't do anything. Because I think it is very rare that anybody has gone through the maturation process, first and foremost, gone through the spiritual facilitation, first and foremost, really integrated all these many aspects of themselves that would ensure that their travels be safe. I started at age 16. Can you imagine the impact it has had on my neurology? Seeing that that's literally 9 years of my brain still being in development, being under the constant influence of exogenous compounds. My God. I changed a lot. I changed. People didn't recognize me soon after I began, and I am thankful for what I've experienced, for the change that has taken place, because I've managed to facilitate it in such a way, or to make use of what I got, make use of what I got in the most positive way possible, at least for me at this time. And it has been difficult. And I feel myself getting a bit emotional saying that, because, yeah, be careful, please. Because it is not fun stuff. I know people do it for the sake of fun stuff, but it is a serious business, and if you want to be mature about it, if you want to approach it with the respect, with the dignity that it really requires, the maturity, then wait, be patient. Don't just dive into the deep end. You may be in bigger trouble than you are even capable of knowing yourself to be, if you start venturing down the route of taking all sorts of things just for the sake of exploring. So I know this is paradoxical. I'm telling you on the one hand to not have an intention, but I'm also telling you to be very, very intentional about how you go about these things if you so choose. So I see the conflict here, but I trust you understand. So with that, perhaps we'll explore more, deeper, delving into these topics, my experiences, and yeah, it would be very interesting. So until then, take care.